What if I told you the future version of you already exists? Not as a fantasy, but as a quantum possibility waiting for alignment. Today, you're not just watching a video. You're stepping into a question that modern physics, ancient wisdom, and human consciousness are finally asking together. Are you creating reality or just remembering it? Stay with me, because once you understand the mirror you're living inside, you'll never look at your thoughts, your identity, or your future the same way again. There comes a moment in history when science stops being just science and becomes something else entirely, something ancient, something familiar, something humanity whispered about long before equations existed. We are living one of those moments. For centuries, reality was taught as a closed system. Newtonian, mechanical, predictable. You existed on one side, and the universe existed on the other. Two separate things. But that worldview is dissolving, because in laboratories, inside quantum chips, and in controlled experiments, a new truth keeps surfacing. Reality doesn't just happen to us, it answers us. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, mechanically. The observer effect, superposition, quantum state collapse. The fact that particles behave differently when watched. The universe responds to awareness. And suddenly, ancient ideas don't sound mystical. They sound like physics catching up. As above, so below. As within, so without. Hermetic philosophy hinted at a reflective universe. Neville Goddard spoke of consciousness shaping form. Indigenous cultures lived as co-participants in creation. And now, the quantum world whispers the same possibility. Your future may already exist, waiting for the version of you who matches it. Not in fantasy, not in wishful thinking, but in timelines, probability fields, and quantum states in superposition. Modern physics is not just studying matter anymore. It is studying mind interacting with existence. And the line between scientific discovery and inner discovery is disappearing. Let's start simple. A mirror doesn't show you what you wish you were, it shows what you are being. Smile, it smiles. Frown, it frowns. Look away, and it disappears. Reality works the same way. Not because that sounds poetic, but because consciousness and environment interact in ways we still barely understand. The video experiment shows it well. Paper covering an object, yet the mirror knows what's behind it. Not magic, geometry, angles, light paths. But the metaphor runs deeper than the physics. The mirror only reveals what the angle allows. Meaning, you cannot see the version of yourself you refuse to stand in front of. You cannot reflect greatness while holding a posture of doubt. You cannot receive what you are not positioned to perceive. And here is the uncomfortable truth. The gap between you and the future you want isn't time, it's alignment. Most people do not fail because reality refuses them. They fail because they never moved into position. They wait for life to change first. When mirrors don't work that way. The reflection comes after the expression, not before. You don't wait to become. You behave the becoming, and the world folds around that behavior. That's not mysticism. That's cognitive behavioral science. That's neuroplasticity. That's identity-based habit formation. And quantum physics hints that it may also be how reality itself materializes paths. In quantum theory, possibilities exist simultaneously until one is chosen through observation and interaction. Your future is not a single line. It is a field of probabilities, multiple paths already encoded in potential, waiting for the version of you who triggers their collapse into reality. Neville Goddard called it the fourth dimension. Physicists call it the Hilbert space. Meditation traditions call it the field. Different words, same architecture. When you think of your future self, wealthy, healthy, peaceful, powerful, you are not fantasizing. You are tuning into a version of you that already exists as possibility. And here's the part most people miss. You don't become that person by wishing. You become them by behaving as if that version of you is already behind the mirror, waiting to be revealed as soon as you shift the angle of your identity. Not delusion, decision. Everything changes the moment you stop trying to get, and instead begin to embody. I am. Not, I hope I'll be, not one day. Identity precedes outcome. Action proves belief. Reality reflects state. The quantum mirror doesn't respond to desire, it responds to definition. Here's where most people get stuck. They try to change their lives while holding the same emotional posture that created the life they are in. That's like yelling at a mirror to change first. Trying to receive peace while projecting fear. Expecting abundance while broadcasting lack. Asking for connection while embodying isolation. You have never been fighting reality. You have only ever been fighting your reflection. And this is where responsibility becomes liberation. If the world is a mirror, it is not your enemy, it is your amplifier, which means you are not powerless. You never were. The future isn't waiting for permission, it's waiting for participation. Life rearranges around identity. And if that sounds mystical, look at psychology. People act according to who they believe they are. They seek environments that confirm their self-concept. They unconsciously attract people and events that mirror their emotional frequency. Not magic. Mechanism. You're not manifesting. You're matching. Here's the truth no one can escape. You are projecting into the mirror of reality right now. Your state is broadcasting a request. Your future is being selected by your posture, not your wishes. And every moment asks the same question. Who are you being now, not yesterday? Not someday. Now, the mirror does not negotiate, it reflects. So the real question isn't, will my future self happen? The real question is, can I become the person who belongs to that future? Quantum physics tells us possibilities already exist. Spirituality tells us identity creates experience. Psychology tells us behavior shapes destiny. 3 languages, 1 message. Step into the version of you that your future is asking for, and the timeline will follow. Your task is not to chase, it is to align. Hold the posture. Think from the future, not toward it. Act like the reflection already exists. Because in a universe that mirrors consciousness, it does. If this message resonated with something ancient inside you, if it sparked a reminder of who you truly are becoming, then this journey isn't over for you. Subscribe, stay close, and step forward with us. We don't chase the future, we align with it.